All right. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. And in this video, we're going to be talking about the Ecuadorian Adrian Bronner, otherwise known as Teofimo Lopez, who is supposed to be fighting in the final stages of a negotiation to fight Shakur Stevenson. Well, Gervonta Davis's trainer spoke out. Brian Norman Jr.'s trainer spoke out. And both of them said the same thing. Do not expect Shakur Stevenson to get that fight with Teofimo Lopez because Teofimo Lopez ain't right in the dome. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. And in this video, man, I'm always happy to hear from Gervonta Davis's trainer, Kenny Ellis, Brian Norman Jr., and who I can't remember who the third person on the call was, but they were on Mill City Boxing's live stream. And the topic of discussion, one of the topics of discussion was Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez and their upcoming fight, the rumored fight, the one that is close to being done. Now, before I get into the details of it, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you guys so much. It really, really, really makes a big difference to the channel, especially the people that support in the super thanks of videos like this. It really, really helps. And thanking everybody that supports in the Cash App. But let's get into this. They say this fight's not going to take place between Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez. To a number, they said they don't believe this fight is going to take place. And the reason that they say that the fight is not going to take place is because they don't believe that Teofimo Lopez really wants that fight, and that Teofimo Lopez is really he's not there to be a boxer. That he, at this stage in his career, is really just trying to be famous, and that he doesn't really want to be a dog like he was a dog, like he doesn't want to be a dog anymore, is the word that Greg Hackett was also on the live stream. Please excuse me. Greg Hackett said that he doesn't want to be a dog anymore. Look, you can tell with Teofimo Lopez and that Teofimo Lopez, if he fights Shakur Stevenson, it's going to be a matter of him being forced to fight Shakur Stevenson. There is almost no way Teofimo Lopez wants to fight Shakur Stevenson. One, that is a terrible, terrible style because they're both counterpunchers. So the question is, how is one going to beat the other? One is both counterpunchers. I think Teofimo Lopez is probably the bigger puncher, the stronger puncher. However, Teofimo Lopez always fights to the level of his competition. And Shakur Stevenson, I think, is a higher level skill set than Teofimo Lopez has. Teofimo Lopez is not in the mentality, I don't think, anymore of really trying to be the best guy in the sport of boxing. Like Greg Hackett said, like Kenny Ellis said, I think he just wants to be famous at this point in time. And I don't think he wants to really throw that away by having an ugly performance with Shakur Stevenson. But this is something that I think that has been consistent with Teofimo. And that's why in the beginning of this video, I think he's from Ecuador. I think he's Ecuadorian or Honduras. He's either Honduran or Ecuadorian, Adrian Bronner, because that's what he looks like to me. He looks like somebody that came up and had all the talent in the world. He had 135. He had won the IBF belt. He had won the WBA belt. He'd won the WBO belt. He won the WBC franchise belt. My personal opinion, I think that made him undisputed. I don't understand how anybody in the world that is not a Devin Haney Glazer would not call him undisputed. That's a very, very exceptional accolade that he accomplished that people won't give him credit for. But recently, even as a champion, getting a championship shot and winning at 140 pounds, he acts much more like Adrian Bronner does. He starts getting in things outside the ring. He has marital problems. I think he got married, got divorced, had baby mama problems. He's running around saying just ludicrous stuff in the press just for the sake of saying ludicrous stuff, basically saying liquor, like this stuff that you drink, liquor, when you know full well that somebody's going to hear another word out of your mouth. He also calls somebody, referring to people as monkeys and stuff like that. All of that is just for him to get attention. The same way Adrian Bronner used to go into Kentucky Fried Chicken on his cell phone, use the bathroom on the cell phone in Kentucky Fried Chicken or Popeye's Chicken, and just did all kind of stuff, attention-getting stuff, really, really needy type of actions from on his part. That's what I see from Teofimo Lopez. And Teofimo Lopez doesn't look like he's really trying to be the best fighter in the world. He makes all of these silly decisions related to his promoter, just all kind of drama. So I would not be surprised at all if they are 100% correct and this fight doesn't happen. That's not what I want to happen, though. I certainly hope that Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez fight at 140 pounds and fight for Teofimo Lopez's title. However, Shakur is not the mandatory, so they can't force him to do it. But I think that fight would be terrific for Shakur Stevenson's career if he can win and beat Teo. That is a big thing, man, because George Kambosos already beat Teo, but hey, man, he would be the second person to beat Teofimo Lopez. And it would also be a fight that I think if they had it in New York or New Jersey, could be a fight where, there would be a lot of people very, very interested in the fight, very interested in the fight. The problem with Teo, though, is probably Teo doesn't want Shakur Stevenson to get that shine off his back because, I know Shakur Stevenson is probably extra amped up looking to put on a performance after what Terrence Crawford did with Canelo Alvarez. That's same crew Shakur Stevenson on. So Shakur's going to try to come in there and going to try to make a statement, something similar to what Terrence Crawford did with Canelo Alvarez. And honestly, man, the fights are kind of like little mini versions of one another, right? You have Teofimo Lopez, who is, who has a name, who has done things in the sport of boxing, is a current champion. And you got a guy that is saying that and believes that he's a generational level talent that wants to move up in weight and fight the guy. Some parallels there. Canelo, though, gets paid $200 million to take that chance. Teofimo Lopez is not going to get paid that type of money to take that chance, especially when Teofimo Lopez is trying to go over to the PBC. And you know full well that if he's with the PBC and he's at 140 or can get down to 135, that he himself could be in line for a Gervonta Davis fight when Gervonta Davis comes back from his Jake Paul fight. But at the end of the day, man, I just wish the best for Teofimo Lopez. I wish the best for Shakur Stevenson. I hope these fights take place and they get a lot of money for doing them because, hey, man, the 140-pound division would be real nice with Shakur Stevenson in it. If Shakur is wins a 140-pound title, then Shakur can fight guys like Subriel Matias. They can fight Alberto Puello. He can fight Gary Antoine Russell. Whole bunch of good fights over there at 140 if they shift over to the PBC. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.